But your Quran claims that sperm is made between the backbone and the ribs. Do you believe that sperm is made between the backbone and the ribs? In the Quran it says that.
I'm a doctor and I'm a Quran teacher also.
Great, come in, madam.
Yeah, it's not said that sperm is made, it says that testicles.
Alright, have you ever heard about the scientific miracles in Quran? Or have you ever thought of whether those claims were true or false? If you don't have experts in this field, or people that have good knowledge of science, to explain to you whether those claims were true or false, how can you know? How can you be sure that what you believe in are true? The conversation is between Pastor Bob and a Muslim doctor who tried to defend the scientific errors in Quran. So let us watch to the end and see how the conversation ends.
But your Quran claims that sperm is made between the backbone and the ribs. Do you believe that sperm is made between the backbone and the ribs?
That's a scientific theology thing to respond.
Yes, in the Quran it says that.
I'm a doctor and I'm a Quran teacher also.
Great, come in, madam.
Yeah, it's not said that sperm is made, it says that testicles are made. The water which is like, it is done between that, and you know the testicles, they just come down to the scrotal sac. That's why they are here in the back, they just go down during the embryogenesis. That's why we have the kids with the empty scrotal sac. We have to do the surgery, we have to take it down. It goes somewhere else, here, maybe somewhere. The Quran it said that. And you know, Dr. Keith Moore, he just did everything, every ayah, and just under the microscope, the shape of the embryo, the mudgha, the everything, and he said that it's all right. He proved it from the Quran. Quran is not the textbook of science, but it's the word of God which is unchanged.
Right, what's your name, madam?
My name is Amara, Dr. Amara.
Dr. Amara. Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's actually look at what the passage says in Surah, I think it's 86.
It's in 30th juz.
Surah 86. Do you know the ayah?
It's in the 30th juz.
It's in the what, sorry?
30th juz.
Let's have a look. Right. Actually, because the thing is, Doctor, your tafsir of the Quran is not accurate to the text. What the text says is this: He, being Allah, created from a drop emitted, proceeding from the backbone and the ribs.
Yeah.
So in other words, what it's talking about is ejaculation. What it is not talking about is the procession of the testes in embryosis. The Quran is not talking about, one second, I'm talking to the doctor here. Yeah. The Quran is, doctor?
Yeah, this is
Doctor, allow me to finish. I let you speak and I didn't interrupt you. The Quran is not talking about embryosis. The Quran is talking about the conceiving of a child. And it said, yes it is. Let me finish. I did not interrupt you. Let's have a polite conversation. If you interrupt me, I will start interrupting you. This whole conversation breaks down. You're an educated woman. Let's have an educated conversation.
Which I am talking about.
I'm talking to the doctor. Surah 86, ayah 6 and 7. So, it is talking about, he is created, that's talking about man. Now let man but think from what he is created. He is created from a drop emitted, proceeding from between the backbone and the ribs. This is talking about conception, not embryosis. Your tafsir is incorrect to the text, and the Quran is wrong because sperm does not ejaculate from the backbone and the ribs, but from the testes. Go on.
Now, you're finished?
Yes.
It says, now, the insan, the man must see from which thing he is made. He is created from a water which is just like
The translation is actually here. The translation is here. Proceeding from between the backbone and the ribs.
It's
a
not
drop
wrong.
emitted.
Dafiq is, you know, this is the Arabic. This is the Arabic. Why that's why Quran is said in the Arabic. dafiq. He is created from a water which just splashes. It just splashes. Yeah, gush. It just gushes like this. Like when ejaculation, listen to me. Ejaculation, what happens in the ejaculation? It just gushes. Okay? So, yakhruju min bayni sulbi wa tara'ib. Now, it comes from here, the sulbi wa tara'ib, the backbone and the down. So now, how that ejaculate is made, which contains sperm, how that ejaculate is made? It's made, it's all the effort, like in the your testes, then from the seminal vesicles, then it goes to the penis, then from there it ejaculates. Okay? So the source is here. The testes are here. So they just go down during the embryogenesis. They just go down in the beginning. They are here in between the baina sulbi wa tara'ib, and then this is the pathway of coming down. That's why if you Google it, a lot of kids we have seen that we have to find out their testes. We have to find out their testes. We do scans, we do MRI. Sometimes in the passage it's lost somewhere, and sometimes it's here. We have to pull it down. We have to put it in there because the ejaculate is made up of sperms. Sperms come from the testes. So Quran is not the superficial thing. It just goes to the origin from where that ejaculate comes.
Are you okay? You finished? So allow me to reply, Doctor, and thank you for engaging in a decent conversation. The point is, as you already admitted, we're talking about ejaculation. That is what's being discussed here. Man is created from a drop emitted. It's talking about if we're talking about emitted, we're not talking about transition. We're talking about ejaculation. And so when we're talking about ejaculation in the Quran, what we are talking about, the ayah 7 has to be read in the light of ayah 6. And so the Quran is saying that the ejaculation is having its source proceeding from between the backbone and the ribs. What you're trying to do is separate verse 6 from verse 7. You're trying to say verse 6 is talking about ejaculation, but verse 7 is talking about embryosis. But no, Doctor, I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. The source of the ejaculation, as a doctor should know, comes from the testes. That is what happens in copulation. Everybody knows this. I don't even know why you're trying to dispute it. You're muddying the water with your tasfir, and your tasfir is not being fair to the text. You're trying to get the Quran out of a problem because you don't want to accept that there's a problem in the text.
You just don't want to listen.
One second. Where this is talking about? Wait, this is not talking about embryology. There are other verses.
This is talking about embryology.
Doctor, I did not. Doctor, I did not interrupt you. I let you. Doctor, I did not interrupt you. Calm down. I know the Quran has problems right now, but getting irate is not going to defend the Quran.
Don't say this. I don't.
The Quran. You are defending the Quran. The Quran. You are trying to defend the Quran right now. The Quran is saying it's talking about what man is created from, and it's talking about emission. Literally says emission. This is ejaculation. What you're doing is you're trying to confuse that with the process of embryosis. The process of embryosis is discussed elsewhere in the Quran, and the Quran gets that wrong as well. We're talking about ejaculation. We're talking about ejaculation. So my question to you, Doctor, is when it says emission, what is being emitted and where? That's my question to you.
Totality. It's not separate. It's not one separate ayah.
I know it isn't. You're separating it, not me.
I'm not separating it. You're separating it.
The proceeding, the emission. Where is the emission coming from?
You are separating it from here.
Where is the emission coming from?
Emission is coming from, first it is made in the testes, then it is just transferred to the penis, then it is transferred.
Thank you. So we are talking about ejaculation then. Thank you. So where is the emission proceeding from?
The testis is formed here.
Where is the emission proceeding from?
Even if the testes are not descending down, the ejaculate will come from that place. The source of ejaculation is here, between the backbone and the ribs.
So you're literally saying the source of a man's ejaculation is not his testes, but between the backbone and the ribs.
Testis is formed here.
But you've just admitted that emission is talking about. What are we talking about when we say emitted?
You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen.
Right, shall we do a conversation there where you don't interrupt me and I don't interrupt you?
Yeah.
Right, well don't interrupt me then and I won't interrupt you. So now I'm going to hand the floor to you. I'm not going to interrupt you, but if you interrupt me again, I will interrupt you as I have done. So, over to you. What do you want to say?
I just just want to say that the testes are formed in between the backbone and the ribs during our development. Okay, like many things which are formed somewhere else, like we have this nipple line, the whole line, the nipple line. Okay, the whole line is nipple line starting from ear to ear. And if this all line is not gone, in some kids we have multiple breasts. Like spleen. In some kids we have multiple spleens. Similarly, the exact location of the testes is between the backbone and the ribs. Like said here, in between the baina sulbi wa taraib, between the backbone and the ribs. Okay, during the process, within the 9 months, these testes they are dragged down. Okay, and this happens. Sometimes it doesn't drag down. Sometimes it remains here. Sometimes it stops here. And it's a very common phenomenon that in kids we call it empty scrotal sac, and we just drag it down and do this. But it doesn't affect the formation of sperm initially. Sperms are formed. They are transferred through the seminal vesicles, and the ejaculate is formed, which consists of sperms, and it comes through the penis. So the origin of the ejaculate is between the place where the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said.
Can I reply?
Yeah.
Now please notice, Doctor, I did not interrupt you at all.
I will.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you all heard the doctor agree that Ayah 6, when it talks about the word emitted, is indeed talking about ejaculation. That's what she admitted earlier in the conversation. It's on camera. You agree, I am sure, that we should not isolate one verse from another in the flowing of a passage. The verse 5, 6 and 7 read as follows. Now let man but think from what he is created. So all of you are to think about, what are you created from? He is created from a drop emitted, which the good doctor has said is ejaculation. Verse 7, proceeding from between the backbone and the ribs. There is no way, if you read the text of the Quran honestly, that you can conclude that ejaculation is coming from the backbone and the ribs. It is coming from the testes. Now the doctor is trying to say that it is about the testes descending as the child is developing in the womb, and it's dropping down to the ball sack. But the point is, the verse is not talking about embryology. And so discussion about embryology is ignoring the verse. The verse is talking about ejaculation. And so ejaculation, we know, comes from the testes in the ball sack, not from the backbone and the ribs. And it doesn't matter how much you talk about embryology, that's not what the Quran is saying. My question to the good doctor is this one question. In Ayah 6, when it says emitted, what is it talking about? That's my question to the doctor.
Three ayahs together. The human should see from which thing he is made. And then in the continuation, the two things are said. He is made of a gushing water, and which comes from in between the backbone and the ribs. So I have already shown all of you that it's like the kidneys. Like the kidneys are in between the backbone. Where are the kidneys? Here. We have kidney here in between the backbone and the ribs. So what it says, in the early human development, the testes, the male gonads, initially reside within the abdominal cavity near the kidneys. Here, baina sulbi wat taraib, what Quran says, baina sulbi wat taraib, what Quran says, near the kidneys. Okay, then undergo a descent, moving from the abdominal cavity through the inguinal canal, finally into the scrotum, the pouch of the skin that contains the testes. Okay, so that thing, it forms that ejaculate, which is called sperm, which then transfers to the penis through the seminal vesicles, and then it comes out. But the initial source is here, near the kidneys, in between the ribs and the backbone, which your science also says. Okay?
Right, lady, are you done? Okay, so if I was under this particular doctor and we were looking at embryology, I think I would ask for another doctor, because she is trying to tell us that your ejaculation is from your backbone and your ribs.
From your testes.
And it is from your testes. But the place where your testes are is in your ball sack, not from your backbone and your ribs. The verse is talking, and notice, did you hear her answer my question? My question was, when in the verse 6 of the surah, it talks about emission, what is it talking about? I asked her that question. It's clear it's talking about ejaculation. She's trying to say it's embryology, so if she wants to talk about embryology, let's talk about the verses in the Quran that actually talk about embryology and see if the Quran.
If there is any doctor,
see, are you going to interrupt?
He can tell you.
Are you going to interrupt? You're a doctor. Are you a doctor?
I'm a doctor.
So are you a doctor in embryology?
But you are just trying to molest all the things. If there is any doctor here,
you're a doctor.
I'm a doctor, but anybody.
So I'm talking to you.
Yeah, you're just trying to hide everything.
What am I hiding?
Yeah.
What does the word what does the word emission mean?
The ejaculation.
What?
Ejaculation
Doctor, answer this question.
Take the source of ejaculation.
Doctor, and it gets it wrong because ejaculation does not come from the testes.
Ejaculate is made in the testes, then it transfers to
Thank you. So it doesn't come from the backbone and the ribs, does it?
You just Google it here.
Google it?
Yeah, Google it.
Because
you don't Google it.
This is not how you do academic debate.
The Quran is telling you everything.
When it talks about emission, what is that talking about?
Emission
is it talking about ejaculation?
Is made where?
Is it talking about? Is it talking about ejaculation?
Ejaculation.
Is it talking about ejaculation?
And the source of ejaculation.
Is it talking about ejaculation?
Source of ejaculation
Answer the question.
If you want to have the pure knowledge, the truth, you need to be open-minded. You must be open-minded to accept knowledge, pure knowledge, the truth. If you can watch closely, during the conversation, you will find out that the woman never tried to be sincere with the conversation. No, she was not sincere with the conversation because she was simply trying to defend Quran. As you can see, she was trying to twist everything and confuse the whole matter with what Quran says about ejaculation coming from the backbone and the child formation. This is crazy. You cannot just confuse people for the sake of defending your religious book. It doesn't make sense. Like I said before, if you want to know the truth, if you want to have pure knowledge, you have to be open-minded. You have to be open-minded because she was not open-minded. That's why she wanted to confuse everything because her intention was to defend Quran, not to say the truth.